Gosh, I'm ready. Tobias.
Okay guys, well I know I said I'd promise to give you the odds and ends on Thursday though, but I'm sorry about that, so I'm just going to do it now and get it over with. So now it's the odds and ends awards for 2011, so this is going to be a lot longer than just your typical 4 or 5 stories. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 stories, so I'll try to do my best. So, here we go. The Lawsuit of the Year Award. In New York, a 290-pound stockbroker is suing the White Castle hamburger chain, not because the restaurant made him fat, but because the establishment's booths aren't big enough for him. Martin Kesman, 64, is seeking unspecified financial damages, claiming that his local White Castle is in violation of the Americans with Diabetes Act. Kesman's disability? He's too large to fit into the seats at White Castle. Kesman's claims come from an April 2009 visit to a White Castle location near his home in Nonnet. Quote, "I am not humongous, but I am a big guy," Kesman told the New York Post. Quote, "I could not wedge myself in." Kesman wrote multiple letters to White Castle's corporate headquarters in Columbus, Ohio, complaining about the inadequate seating. In the 2 years since, the company has not redesigned the location, so Kesman is suing. If you think Kesman is boycotting the chain over its fat person discrimination policy, think again. Kesman told the Post he sends his wife on burger runs to White Castle now because he's too embarrassed to return. And you thought it was just getting crazy? This one does it all. This one's really crazy. The How Do You Like Me Now Award. In Pennsylvania, a Monroe County parolee ordered by the court to undergo regular drug testing told the judge he wasn't using a fake penis and bladder to cheat the tests. He was only wearing them because a probation officer kept making fun of his real penis. Raymond Hartley Jr., 28, told the county judge that he strapped on the Whizzinator device to look more manly in front of a probation officer who commented on the size of his penis during drug tests. Quote, "It's very emasculating to hear comments like that," argued defense attorney Anthony Ryback. Judge Michael Corey Jr. didn't buy it, though, and sentenced Hartley to 1 to 2 years in a state prison for violating probation. Hartley admitted to using the Whizzinator, which can be bought over the internet in kits that include synthetic urine heater packs. At an earlier court appearance, at the most recent court appearance, Hartley insisted that the urine he used was his own and that the rubber penis was only employed to impress his probation officer in Monroe County. Quote, "Had I known doing something like this would have brought new charges, I would never have done something like this," Hartley told the judge. Hartley said he pleaded guilty to using the Whizzinator earlier because he was embarrassed to admit the real reason in court. Quote, "The courtroom was unbelievably full," said Hartley. "My mother was there." Judge Corey gave Hartley a fine and sent him back to state prison anyway. Oi, dude, if your mom was there, Jesus Christ, that kills it. And who gives a shit what they say, you know? Just not all of them are the same, you know? So just, well, it is what it is. TV Critic of the Year Award. In Illinois, police in Homer Glen responded to a call from Mullet's Sports Bar and Restaurant, where an angry customer was reportedly causing damage to the facility. According to the report in the Chicago Tribune, the customer allegedly shattered a frame photo of AC Slater, the fictional mullet-wearing jock played by Mario Lopez on the 90s TV sitcom Saved by the Bell. The photo took pride of place above the urinal in the bar's men's room, at least until it was thrashed by the angry customer. What got him so agitated? Quote, I just don't like Slater, the man reportedly told the owner after ripping the photo off the wall and smashing it on the floor. According to a Will County Sheriff's report, the unidentified man left the premises after another customer gave the bar owner $11 for the broken picture frame. Oi. That's all I gotta say. It's ridiculous. The A for Effort Award. In Russia, Soviet Russia. In Russia, an elderly woman's attempt to reanimate her long-dead sister caused a fire that burned down an apartment and nearly killed the still-living siblings. Prosecutors told the Noivy Region news agency that the 69-year-old arsonist's 73-year-old sister passed away a year ago from the natural causes in the town of Ekaterinburg, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, in the Ural Mountains. Instead of reporting the death, the woman, who has an extensive mental health record, took the Dr. Frankenstein option. She preserved her dead sister's body in gasoline and had allegedly been trying to bring it back to life ever since. Her last experiment happened on January 25th and involved jump-starting the preserved corpse with 2 wires running from the body's hand and neck to the apartment's main electrical line. Not surprisingly, instead of coming back to life, the gas-soaked body burst into flames. The surviving sister was sent to the hospital to recover from burns and smoke inhalation. The elderly sister's body was destroyed. Oi, and you thought people were crazy when they decide to watch something out of a horror story and decide to do it in real life. Oi, the Well You Asked Award. In Connecticut, a Hartford County man was arrested after calling police to ask if he would be arrested for growing pot in his house. Quote, I was just growing some marijuana and I was just wondering how much, trouble you can get into for growing for one plant, asked 21-year-old Robert Michelson. When the police dispatcher asked if there was an active crime in progress, Michelson answered, quote, possibly. Police traced the call to Michelson's home in the central Connecticut town of Farmington. There they located drug paraphernalia and a small amount of pot. Michelson admitted he had recently purchased seeds and equipment online for the purpose of growing marijuana. Police say that as he left the police station, Michelson gave dispatchers 2 middle fingers, quote, presumably for doing such a good job, a police spokesperson said. Even more stupid, right? The Junk in the Trunk Award. In Florida, an inmate at Sarasota County Jail faces a buttload of charges after jailers found 30 items hidden in his rectum. According to the Herald Tribune, 33-year-old Neil Lansing went to court on Friday, February 11th, and he was sent to jail by a judge. There, corrections deputies conducting a routine search found part of a condom sticking out of Lansing's rear end. Quote, according to sheriff's officials, the condom contained, you ready for this? 17 round blue pills, 1 cigarette, 6 matches, 1 flint, 1 empty syringe with an eraser over the needle, 1 lip balm container, 1 additional unused condom, a receipt from CVS Pharmacy, and a paper coupon. Clearly, Lansing was expected to go to jail when he showed up in court on Friday and has packed for the occasion. No word on what the coupon was good for. Lansing went on to face charges of drug and tobacco possession. The things you do to stick things up your rear end, right? The Amen Brother Award. In Wisconsin, a small-town politician who engaged police in a 15-hour standoff after shooting out his TV during a broadcast of Dancing with the Stars has been given 3 years probation. Stephen Cowan, 68, pleaded no contest on April 11th to misdemeanor counts of disorderly conduct, negligent handling of a weapon, and a felony count of failing to comply with a police officer's orders. Cowan was arrested in November after he drunkenly destroyed his television with a shotgun while watching Bristol Palin on Dancing with the Stars. According to a criminal complaint filed at the time, Cowan, quote, was upset that a political figure's daughter was dancing on this particular show when Stephen did not think that she was a good dancer. In December, Cowan resigned from the town of Vermont's Board of Supervisors. I don't watch that show. I don't get it. People dancing. Whoop-de-doo. Anybody could dance. Just whatever. The Bet You Can't Eat Just One award. In New Zealand, a man who suffered from repeated bouts of depression has joined the short list of people who have cooked and eaten their own body parts. According to the New Zealand Herald, the incident, which took place in 2009, is the first known case of self-cannibalism in New Zealand, and one of only 8 reported around the world. The story came to light in mid-April in the professional journal Australian Psychiatry. The unnamed patient, who was 28 at the time, was described as moderately depressed and had not consumed drugs or alcohol at the time of the incident. The journalist says Mr. X ruminated for several days about cutting off his own fingers, following a personal crisis and, quote, while not being fully compliant with his medication. Following the deliberation, the patient cut off one of his fingers with a jigsaw and, quote, cooked it in a pan with some vegetables and ate its flesh. The journal article says the patient planned to amputate 2 more fingers the next day, but experienced such relief from the experience that he changed his mind. Quote, given the instantaneous benefit, he felt that there was no point in cutting off any more fingers. The article's authors, South Island forensic psychiatrist Eric Monastero and clinical psychologist Greg Prince, noted that Mr. X did later regret the self-mutilation, quote, because of its deliberating effect. Wow. Really? Right? I know.